Hey, welcome back to the podcast, Evil Dungeon Master Universe Podcast. I'm your host, Evil Dungeon Master Vince, and it is Monday. Yep, you heard it. There was the beep for Monday. Monday for a new podcast, Evil Dungeon Master Universe. I am your host. I know I already said that. Ask the DM at theevildm.com, and theevildm.com is my website. Don't forget to like videos, follow, yada, yada, yada. You know what to do. Today, I want to talk a little bit about an item in magical item in the Dungeon Master's Guide. I thought that was kind of interesting. It may get passed over a little bit because it's not that great, but I don't know. I was thinking about ways to use it and how. And actually, I was sitting here pondering the last time I used them, how I was using them, because it doesn't really tell you what they look like exactly. So, flipping to page 144 in the Dungeon Master's Guide, we have magical eyes. There's 4 of them here in the book that you can use. Now, when I was talking about these magical eyes, they don't exactly say how these magical eyes look. Are they actually eyes? Are they contact lenses? Or are they monocles? And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because these little eyes, there's Eyes of Charming, Eyes of Eagle, Eyes of Minute Seeing, and Eyes of Petrification. There's 4 different ones, but they talk of them as a pair. So, a pair of convex crystal lenses which fit over the user's eyes. Now, that could be a contact lens, or it could be a monocle. So, the reason why I'm saying, really harping on this, because it doesn't say, and it does tell you that in some cases, if you use only one, this happens, but if you put the 2 together, this happens. So, I'm thinking that contact lenses probably wouldn't work. But a monocle type system would work. So, but let's get into it and then we'll figure it out as we go along. Let's see. Eyes of Charming. This item contains a pair of convex crystal lenses which fit over the user's eyes. When in place, the wearer is able to charm persons merely by meeting their gaze. Those failing the saving throw versus magic are charmed as per the spell. 1 person per round can be thus looked at. Saving throws are at -2 if the wearer has both lenses in, and +2 if he or she wears only 1 pair of Eyes of Charming. See, that's what they go back to saying now. They're lenses, but are they monocle lenses or contact lenses? It doesn't really say. They just fit over the user's eye, which could mean glasses or monocle or a contact lens. I guess in your world, you could do whatever you want. And the reason why I'm really harping on this, because you could place these on tables in the campaign, and then the players have to figure out which one their character is going to pick. And are they going to pick 2? How would they know to pick 2? They don't know what these things are exactly. And there's a reason for that, and we'll get to that as we complete these, but I'll get to why I'm also talking about that. Eyes of the Eagle. These optics are also a special crystal and fit over the eyes of the wearer. They give vision of 100 times greater than normal at a distance of 1 foot or more. I don't know, is that 1 inch or 1 foot? I can't really see that. 1 foot, I think it is. 1 inch or more. Got it. The wearer can see at 2,000 feet what a person could normally see at 20 feet. When only wearing one of the cusps will cause the character to become dizzy and effect stunned for 1 round. Therefore, 1 eye must always be covered to avoid this vertigo. So you got to use 1 to see, but you got to cover your other eye. Otherwise, you got to wear both. Eyes of Minute Seeing, as appearing much as the same as any other magical lens, these eyes of minute seeing enable. Why did I say minute? It's minute seeing. Enable the wearer to see 100 times better at distances of 1 foot or less. Thus, tiny seams, minute marks, and even impressions left from writing can be seen. Thus, secret compartments and hidden joints can also be noted, and the information be acted upon. The effect of wearing but one of these crystals is the same as given for the Eyes of the Eagle. So if you only wear 1, you're going to have a vertigo situation, so you got to cover 1 of your eyes. And finally, Eyes of Petrification. the only good one out of the bunch. Totally indistinguishable from any other magical cusp. See, this is why I'm saying there's no real description for them. The effect of donning these lenses is instantaneous. The wearer is turned to stone. Note, 25% of these devices work as the gaze of a basilisk does, including reflection of the weapon turning the gazer to stone. Note, and here's what I'm talking, mixing eye types is certain to cause immediate insanity for 2 to 8 turns, or 2d4 turns. So these things are on the table, and I could see that you have them just displayed there. And what would the players pick? Would you list them as monocles? Would you list them as contact lenses? Some of them don't seem to have a real distinguishable thing about the rest of them. They're totally indistinguishable from any other magical cusp. So that one right tells me there that Eyes of Petrification pretty much all look the same as the rest of them, which tells me the rest of them are all just crystal lenses, and there's no real way of telling them apart. So they're on a table. Are they in pairs? Are they all mixed together? How do you tell them apart? Maybe you're in your campaign they might have a slight hue to them or something, or tint to them. And the players can investigate a little bit further before touching them and using them to see if there's a difference between them. And you can always add that in your campaign. Maybe, for the Eyes of Charming, present them as some type of rare artifact that is sought after by a collector. And maybe this collector is not telling the party everything about these eyes. And then the players have to go, and maybe they could figure out what these things actually do, and if they really want to give this to the person seeking them out or not. Eyes of the Eagle can be used for scouts, especially if you're setting up like an outpost base or something. Someone's standing on a tower. You can use these eyes to check the distance and make sure that no one's sneaking up on them or something. I mean, you can use it for like maybe scouting enemy bases from a real far distance, or an enemy encampment or something. You're in the woods and you see like an orc camp or something, but you don't want to get too close. You slap these babies on and you can take a look inside the camp from a really, really safe distance. Might be a way to use them. Eyes of Minute Seeing, I would say, would be good for a thief, or maybe some type of like detective on a crime scene in the game if you're trying to solve a mystery. The thief could use the lenses to make sure he didn't leave any marks around, or check the room out for any hair fibers he could have left by, or anything that would tip off who he was. With a detective, it's just the opposite. You would put them on and check the room over for scrape marks, types of ways people pick locks, how they open doors and things like that, because not every thief does everything the same way, and some have a certain way of doing things, so that maybe that's a way of picking them off. Eyes of Petrification, I was trying to find a way. I was sitting here thinking, what would be a way of using Eyes of Petrification in a campaign? Because obviously it turns people into stone. So what would you exactly use them for? Unless you're going to say that maybe a bad guy is using them to hold a town kind of under his control, and anytime that they screw up, he places these magical cusps over some person that turns them right to stone, and he uses this as a threat. Pay me my sum of gold, pay me my sum of silver, or whatever, pay my tribute once a month. If you do not, I will take one person from the town. Maybe he has like a large group of bandits with him or something that's enough to overpower the town. And it's one of those, quote unquote protection rackets that the mob would do. You want to pay for protection, and protection from them pretty much, as they destroy the stores in Little Italy or Chinatown or something. we're the protection, but if you don't pay us, we'll destroy everything type thing. So this guy is holding this town hostage as a protection racket. And then the players come in and they find this out, so they could have to maybe uh, help the town uh, be free from this bad guy. That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of this. This would be kind of an interesting little one-off scenario of this evil guy having the town under control, and your players have to take care of him. Now, the mixing part, where that's where I'm saying, if you place them all on a table, is there a way to distinguish them really apart? And it doesn't really say much about that. So I would leave them on the table in, say, the middle of a cave as a temptation item. And if the players don't care and they just take them and place them inside of a bag, they say, I just take them for, and wrap them up for later on so I can take. That's when they start to mix them. So then they'll have to figure out a way to separate them later on. Or if they don't, then they have to figure out what exactly they are. I'm not sure anybody in a D&D type setting would think, these crystal-like lenses go over my eyes. Maybe if you described them more as monocles or glasses type situation, they might think to put it over their eyes. But based on this description, it's just crystal lenses. Would they know what a lens is? I guess they would know what a lens is. So I don't know. It's up to you in your campaign. You tell me how you would use these things. I'm just trying to think of ways that you could express it so they get the hint to place these over their eyes. I don't know. I guess if you go to a magic user to identify these things, he would say these crystallized lenses would do the following if you place them over your eyes. So maybe that's another way. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments below. Tell me about the magical eyes of Dungeons and Dragons. And head out. Keep it original, keep it old school. Good night, and God bless everybody. Keep those AD&D fires lit.